In the early 20th century, a young, ambitious lawyer named Jonathan Renfield is sent to a remote region of Eastern Europe to finalize a mysterious property deal. His client is a reclusive nobleman named Count Dracula. Renfield, unaware of Dracula's true nature, sees this as the perfect opportunity to make a fortune and elevate his status in society. However, when he arrives at Dracula's ancient crumbling castle, he begins to realize that his host is no ordinary man. Dracula reveals himself as an immortal vampire with dark powers that can bend reality and manipulate life itself. Initially, Renfield is terrified, but as days pass, Dracula takes a twisted liking to him and offers him a chance at eternal life at the cost of his humanity. With no real choice, Renfield is cursed with a dark immortality, gaining enhanced strength, healing abilities, and longevity by consuming insects. Dracula binds Renfield to his will, making him his eternal servant. Over the next century, Renfield becomes a reluctant accomplice to Dracula's bloody reign of terror. Dracula grows stronger by drinking human blood, while Renfield's powers are tied to devouring insects. Bound by Dracula's curse, Renfield is forced to help his master, despite his own guilt and disgust. Though Renfield attempts to limit his master's evil to criminals and corrupt souls, Dracula demands the blood of the innocent to further his power. Nearly 100 years later, Renfield begins to question his servitude. He attends a self-help group in New Orleans, a place where people share their experiences of toxic relationships. Though he doesn't reveal the full truth, Renfield draws inspiration from the group's encouragement to reclaim his life. He begins to plan his escape from Dracula's control, but Dracula grows suspicious of his servant's newfound independence. Meanwhile, in the same city, a determined police officer named Rebecca Quincy is investigating a powerful crime family, the Lobos, who have ties to numerous disappearances and underworld dealings. Unbeknownst to Rebecca, Dracula has been manipulating the Lobos, using them to gain control of the city's underworld. Renfield, wanting to sever his ties to Dracula and finally do some good, targets the Lobos' criminal network, bringing him into direct conflict with Rebecca. Renfield, trying to atone for his past, attacks a group of Lobos' associates and uncovers their connection to Dracula. His actions alert Dracula, who confronts Renfield, enraged by his disobedience. The vampire warns Renfield that without his master's protection, he would perish, and worse, anyone Renfield cares about would suffer. Dracula's plan to enslave humanity is revealed. He seeks to consume the blood of innocents to attain godlike power and plunge the world into eternal darkness. Renfield's internal struggle reaches its peak. Torn between his guilt over his past misdeeds and his desire to break free, he teams up with Rebecca, who reluctantly believes his outlandish story after witnessing his supernatural abilities firsthand. Together, they decide to stop Dracula once and for all. In a climactic showdown at the Lobo family's stronghold, Dracula and Renfield face off. Dracula, now fully powered after consuming the blood of the Lobos' leader, is nearly unstoppable. But Renfield, with the support of Rebecca, finds the strength to fight back. A magical circle, created by ancient vampire hunters and hidden in the ruins beneath the city, is used to trap Dracula, rendering him vulnerable. Rebecca reveals that her family has ties to these ancient hunters, and together with Renfield, they trap Dracula in the circle. After a brutal battle, Renfield delivers the final blow, breaking Dracula's fangs and binding him with magical restraints. However, Dracula taunts Renfield, claiming that even if destroyed, he will return because true evil cannot die. Renfield, determined to end the curse, dismembers Dracula Dracula and scatters his remains across the city's water system, ensuring that he can never fully regenerate. For the first time in a century, Renfield is free from his master. With Dracula gone, Rebecca and Renfield form an unlikely bond. Renfield begins his journey toward redemption, helping those in need while grappling with his guilt and immortality. Rebecca, with her family's legacy as vampire hunters now in the open, is determined to continue fighting against the remnants of the supernatural underworld that Dracula left behind. Though Renfield is free from Dracula's immediate control, he knows that darkness still lingers in the world. The possibility of Dracula's return looms, but for now, Renfield chooses to live with the humanity he has regained, finding solace in helping others and protecting the innocent. Renfield, the curse of immortality, ends with Renfield standing on the edge of the city at sunrise, for the first time in over a century, finally free and facing a world filled with possibilities. Like and subscribe and share.